Hello, everybody, and welcome to a Hispanerd, the video edition. I woke up this morning and I was feeling a little bit run down. I have like a little bit of a head cold, but anyway, and I don't normally work on Sundays, but because I shifted my schedule around, I just I had to go in today, and I went in. It was a typical day for me. For any of you who don't know, I work for the Walt Disney resort. So I work for the mouse, and that's not a secret. You can find it everywhere. If you look me up, Alex Iniga's art, you'll see that I've been working for them for quite a while. Anyway, so I went to work, and I was feeling kind of down physically and didn't have any like desire to drink anything or really eat anything, and I just powered through some commissions, sketches. And then I came home and I decided to go to bed, and I slept, for a few hours. Woke up, made some food, and then one of my coworkers had sent me what I thought was just a funny, like a wishful thinking type of thing. She had sent me that Bob Igor, the former CEO of the Walt Disney Company, had been reinstated as CEO. Obviously, I didn't think anything of it, and I say obvious because that just sounds outlandish. I mean, literally, the guy, if you had been following any of that, he had made it definitive that he was leaving the company and that he was passing the mantle over to Bob Chapek. Anyway, so there's reporting going on all over the place. There's internal emails happening. Bob Iger is back at Walt Disney, Walt Disney Company, which is absolutely wild. I mean, if you don't know who this guy is, he was responsible for acquiring Pixar, responsible for acquiring Lucasfilm, responsible for acquiring Marvel Studios. I mean, not everything that he did during his time at the company was perfect, because nobody's perfect, but the rumor on the guy is that he was a creative at heart while a businessman when it came to the practical nature of the job. And that's exactly the kind of person that you want to have on board. Disney has typically always seemed to work better and always seems to hit various golden ages whenever they have a creative and a business person co-running the company. And that's been, I mean, it's been that way. That formula has existed and has worked the best since the days of Walt and his brother. Um, from that point on, you've had, companies have ups and downs, they have lulls, but every single time that they've had a creative person and a business person working hand in hand together, it just makes the company flourish. Iger was one of those very rare people where he seemed to be able to embody both, and he collected people around him that were on the creative end. So, what does this mean for Disney going forward? Are we going to see changes and reversals? I don't know, but I sure hope so. The drum that I've been beating for a while now, privately and on my podcast, A Hispanerd, which can be found on Spotify, Apple, or anywhere else you get your pods, is that Disney had forgotten what brought Disney to the table. And the thing that has made the Disney company so successful and what they're about is families. They're about families, and they're about children. They're about a place where adults can feel safe bringing their children, and both children and adults can enjoy, the facade, the magic that is created, the sleight of hand that the company is so good at. And all of those sometimes can be a negative in the real world, but Disney doing it is actually a positive. They want you to be fooled and tricked into believing in magic, and that's not a bad thing at all. And so there's been a bunch of hiccups up and down. not just at Disney, but society-wise. Society has been having a very, very rough time trying to understand and know what society wants. There's a lot of push from various minority groups, not not meaning Hispanic or Asian or black, but minority groups as in small clumps of, very specialized or individualized people that they see themselves as, as this particular thing, and those are the ones that attempt to drive the narrative in society. And for a long time, a lot of companies have been listening to that narrative, and I think it's been for the worst. If you're a company that makes phones, make phones. There's no reason for you to be an activist, on behalf of any one particular group. If you're a company that does children's stories, do children's stories. We all know what that is. We all know what children should be exposed to and what they shouldn't be exposed to. We all know that children are going to come to a certain point in their life where the things that they weren't ready for at 5 and 10, maybe at 15, they'll come across those things and they'll have a better understanding of what it is that is being put forth, in front of them. So Disney quickly became a very activist business. So what am I looking for? What am I hoping for as someone who works there and someone who loves, fell in love with the place? I went in as a as a part-timer that was, I think almost 13 years now. I went in as someone who was going to grab a job really quick and then look for something else and leave as quick as possible, because the economy had been destroyed in 2008. Jobs were very difficult. I had hospitality under my belt, so I knew what that was like. I started at the Disneyland Hotel, and then from there, I was able to move into a creative role at Disney. And I mean, I don't know. I love the place. It's been fantastic. It's been a fantastic blessing for my family. I've got a giant brood of children. My wife and I would not be able to afford taking our kiddos, especially, with the way the prices and the economy has shifted over the last few years. But to be able to take my immediate family and my extended family periodically to the parks and enjoy time together and just relive some of the things that we love from childhood, Pirates of the Caribbean, Haunted Mansion, just the whole vibe of Main Street. Like, it's been a very special time, and it's really made me appreciate why the company was created, what it was, and what it could be again. So I'm really rooting for all of the leadership at Disney. I'm really rooting for Bob Igor. I'm excited to hear that he's back, and I know there's going to be some shakeups, but at the same time, like, you gotta break some eggs, right, to make an omelet, as they say. And I'm looking forward to seeing what kind of delicious omelet Bob Iger makes. So that is my little quick thoughts on Bob Iger returning as CEO of the Walt Disney Company. Amazing, and I am here for it. You guys, as I say on the podcast, and please go listen to the long form podcast. Like I said, you can get it on Spotify, you can get it on Apple, you can get it on anywhere you pick up or listen to podcasts. But as I say there, I'll say here: take your vitamins, drink your water, and eat your vegetables. Thank you guys. I'll talk to you later. Bye.